Welcome to episode 566 of the show. Before we continue, I'd like to apologize for all the noise in the background that you guys are going to hear, and that's because I don't have my regular recording space, so I'm having to make do. So you're going to have, you might hear some TV sounds bleeding in from the background and some traffic over by the highway. Anyway, so with that out of the way, let's get into the topic of today. Now, for those of you who've been following the series for a while, in episode 565, which is the one prior, I promised that we were going to go into email marketing and SEO, and I was going to batch out everything in twos so that we could get through the new school methods of lead generation, which is a high-fangled way of saying looking for customers or creating customers. So I was going to look at email marketing and SEO as a way, or rather, as ways of creating customers, creating leads. But I've had a look at them, and I think if I'm going to chunk them in twos like I intended, well, I was not going to go into any detail anyway because this is not a lecture, but I figure that even if I'm going to skim through the topics, I should skim through in such a way that you get the broader context to see how these things relate and get you guys comfortable with the mental frameworks that are involved, because I think that's going to get you guys more what's the word anyway, the word just left my head, and it's going to get you guys much more open and comfortable with some of these ideas, the frameworks and the concepts that we're going to explore. And so I think it's best that I take these things one at a time. But remember, in my usual fashion, I'm going to be using working definitions. So the definitions that you come across in this podcast episode and in future podcast episodes where we're talking about lead generation and creating customers, they're not going to be technically proficient, they're not going to be technically correct. So if you check your business books, you're going to see different definitions here. So the goal is just to give an overview and open you guys up to the frameworks in such a simple manner that the everyday ordinary person, just like me, can take these concepts and apply them and run with them in their day-to-day businesses. So, that was just a long roundabout way of saying that today we're not going to be doing email marketing and SEO. We're only going to be doing email marketing. So now that we spent over 2 minutes in the preamble, let's just get straight to today's show. So first off, email marketing. We're going to be looking at how to create customers using email marketing. Email marketing as a tool for lead generation. So what is email marketing? Email marketing, like I defined in episode 565, is just using email to find potential customers, to nurture relationships, and then ultimately to ask for the sale for the product and the service. Because if you're using email to find potential customers and you're nurturing relationships, but you're never eventually asking someone to buy something, sign up for something, do something, then I'm not sure what the hell you're doing. So all those elements have to be there when it comes to not just email marketing, but any other thing that you're trying to use for lead generation and to create customers. We're trying to find people who might be cool people to talk to, who could be interested in our product or services. We're trying to find out what their needs are. We're trying to nurture relationships with them, and eventually it gets to the point where we ask for a sale. We ask them to do business with us. We ask them if we have earned the right to be their service provider. So that's what email marketing is. Remember, this is a working definition. So if you check Google or YouTube, you're going to find different definitions, essentially saying the same thing, but this is just the everyday man definition for email marketing. Now, one thing that I want to point out, email marketing and how it's different from other activities that we're going to be involved with in promoting our businesses. Email marketing is a form of direct marketing. Now, let me repeat that. Email marketing is a form of direct marketing. Now, what direct marketing is it's marketing activities that are result oriented. These are the activities that we do because at the end of the day, we want a sale or we're asking for some call to action. We want people to take action in a certain way. Sorry, in a certain way to move the relationship forward, or to move the sale forward. So direct marketing and all these result oriented activities are different from things that are brand oriented. So that's just what I want to get you guys to understand. That some things are direct marketing. How do I put it? Some things are result oriented and other things are brand oriented. Yeah, let me just leave it that way. So the brand oriented stuff, like let's say the advertising that Coca-Cola puts out right now. Coca-Cola is not putting out any advertisements right now because they're trying to get you to buy more Coke drinks. They are trying to reinforce an impression that is already there, and they're trying to reinforce a brand that already exists in the market. So the goal of a Coke advertisement now is not to get you to go out and to buy something. Now, this is not what email marketing is. Email marketing has a specific purpose. It has a specific result that they have in mind. So if you're doing an email marketing campaign, you're trying to get people to sign up to something. You're trying to get people to purchase something. You're trying to get people to become members in something. You're trying to get people to contribute to something. I'm sure there's a lot of that going on right now in Nigeria, since we're in the thick of the presidential elections. It should be happening in a couple of days. Okay, this is the end of January. Yeah, sure. So we're days away from the presidential election. So we're in the thick of people, trying to raise funds and things of that nature. So there's some email marketing going on over here in Nigeria. I'm sure you guys have seen the banners. That's Nigerians. The Atiku website, Atiku and Okowa, they have this fancy website. So does Tinubu as well. But you check the website, and there's parts for you to sign up to the email list. And if you sign up to the email list, I'm sure eventually you're going to get notifications and then asked to contribute and then stuff like that. So, for those of you who've been listening to the podcast from the very beginning, you can see how these ideas that we discuss here are not just related to business, but a whole host of activities that we're going to be involved in as we grow older and as we try to engage in a wider society. And that's the reason why I say all these things are important. How do you sell? How do you persuade? How do you network? How do you influence? How do you build relationships? Because these skills come in handy when it comes to building our businesses, paying school fees, keeping the lights on, guaranteeing the kind of life that we aspire to. But then also beyond that, for those of you who want to be involved in public policy, you also need these skills as well in networking, building relationship with stakeholders. And for those of you who want to be in the non-governmental space, those of you who want to run charities, you also need these skills as well. Where was I before I went off on the rant? Okay, yeah, so I was saying that email marketing is direct marketing, and direct marketing is result oriented. So when you're doing email marketing, this is not about building a brand. So can you use email to find customers? In a technical sense, no, but you can use call to actions that you put in emails to see who is interested. Now remember, a call to action is just something that you want the person you're talking to do. And okay, well, yes. So a call to action is what you expect the person that you're talking to do, and usually this is a very good gauge, a very good barometer to see who is interested in something. So if you talk to a couple of people at a networking session, and let's say you have this cool blog or something, and you say, okay, no, not blog. Let me see. Okay, let's use Instagram handles, because this is something that I've seen wedding planners do at trade fairs. So they're gisting with the bride, and they're getting real cool, and they're building rapport. And then the wedding planner says, "Oh, are you on Instagram?" And the bride says, "Oh, yes." I say, "Oh, let me have a look at your Instagram." Then they have a look, and then they see some ideas that the lady might have favorited or pinned, or some inspiration photos or something like that. And then it ends with the wedding planner saying, "Oh, I just followed. Please, can you follow me back? So now that is a call to action. Followed, can you follow me back? And the whole point is if the person goes ahead to follow back and then you guys engage on Instagram, then it's a sign, it's a barometer that there might be some interest there and you might be building a relationship and there might be room for the business to move forward. So, call to actions don't have to be anything fancy, it's these simple things: follow, subscribe, call this number, buy now, whatever it is. So, call to actions. So, whenever you put call to actions in emails, it helps you to sift through to find out who is interested. So, if in the email one of the call to actions is follow this Instagram handle, then and you can track these sorts of things. People who follow the Instagram handle and who, when they fill the questionnaire, they say they found out from your email. You now know that okay, these people are interested in relationship and they're taking this thing another step forward. So if you say opt into this, call this number, download this, take this action, it helps you to find people who are interested. So technically speaking, you can't use email to find someone, but it will help when you use call to actions to definitely see who is interested. Now, can you use email to nurture relationships? And the answer is definitely yes. And this is where the episode that we did on customer satisfaction and customer retention, this is where all that theory comes in handy. So if this is your first time of listening to the podcast, after we're done with this episode, scroll down a little bit. I guess maybe 10, 15 episodes to when we did a whole series on customer satisfaction and customer retention, and you'll get the gist of what customer satisfaction is and what customer retention entails. But basically, for those of you who are listening for the first time, customer satisfaction, customer retention, what they just mean are, is the customer happy with the experience that they had with us, and did the customer achieve their goals? Did they achieve the brand promise when they ended up doing business with us? So if I come up with a product promising to 3x your sales in 2023, customer satisfaction will be concerned with, were people happy with working with me? And then, oh, sorry, no, that's not customer retention. Customer retention actually is people remaining with you, doing business with you for the long haul, and also bringing repeat business and referrals. And to achieve that, we have to worry about customer satisfaction and customer success. So that is actually what I've been trying to define all along. Sorry, forgive me for mixing things up. When I make these recordings, I'm freestyling, so it's expected that I might slip on one or two things. So before we get to customer retention, we want to be sure that people are satisfied and that they achieve their goals. So back to my example, if I promise to 3x your profits in 2023 and you work with me, customer satisfaction is concerned with, were the people happy with working with Tavishima, and customer success would be most of the people, were they able to 3x their businesses. So if at the end of 2023 I ran the program on 15 people, and out of the 15, 14 were happy working with me, and out of the 14 who were happy working with me, let's say 10 were able to 5x their profits, then we can say that it was a good experience overall, and from that we'll know that we're going to get customer retention. Now, what does all this have to do with email? You'll remember in those episodes, for those of you who've listened to it, the customer satisfaction, customer retention, customer success episodes, I was talking about how you use the phone and how you use in-person visits to be sure that people are happy, people are satisfied, and that they achieve their goals. Some of you don't like the whole in-person thing. There's some people who would rather send DMs and emails rather than go and visit someone. I prefer to visit, I prefer to pick up the phone. I think that's the best. But if you're one of those people who refuse to pick up the phone and you refuse to go to your customer's office or house or have them in your own space, then that's not a problem. You can run the whole thing using emails. You can send emails to say, thank you very much for your business, really appreciate it. Is it okay to ask a couple of questions? Just want to find out if you guys are happy. You can have that whole conversation over email. What was the experience like? What did we do right? What could we have done better? Let's see. what else? Were you guys able to achieve your goals coming to this? That whole conversation can be had by email, and that is how we use email to nurture relationships. Now, can you use email to ask for the sale? And the answer is yes, because people send out promotional emails all the time. So, for those of us that are Nigerians, who are currently going through that right now, you sign up to Atiku's website, you sign up to Tinubu's website, you receive the newsletter, but eventually there's going to be that part where they say, donate now, click here to donate, or click here to sponsor, or click here to attend this rally, or click here to do this, or download this, to do that. So that is using email to ask for the sales. That's by using promotional emails. So it's all about the call to actions that you put there. So apart from all these examples that I've given, there's buy now or pay before February 14th to guarantee 70% off for you and your wife. This for this Valentine special. I'm just freestyling. I'm sure you guys can. I'm sure you get the picture. So when it comes to using email to ask for the sale, that can happen. It's a promotional email, and you have to use call to actions. And so this is how we can use email for lead generation or to create customers. Because even though we are not going to be able to use the email to find potential customers, we definitely can use email to figure out who is interested. And we can use email to nurture the relationships, and we can use email to ask for the sale. And if we use the email, ask for the sale, and after that, we make sure, using email, of course, that everybody is happy and that they all achieve their goals, then we can also use email to achieve customer retention. So, overall, email can be used not just for lead generation to get the customers in through the door, but also to make sure that people stay and keep doing business with us over the long haul, and bring their friends, their family members, and their associates as well, so that we have healthy businesses. And this works with whatever sphere you are in. So I think the examples I gave here are largely political. I think, did I use any business? Okay, I can't remember if I used any business example. Well, there's the whole Atiku Okowa thing. Okay, well, that's political. Okay, so let's say you're a cement buyer, or rather, you're a cement trader. Since for customer satisfaction and customer success, yes, I use the example of Alhaji Dalhatu, a fictional character. I know that Dalhatu is a common name in Abuja and North Central and Core North. So I'm not. This is not referring to any real Alhaji Dalhatu that you know. So you're a cement trader. You have a customer. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you're the cement trader who has Alhaji Dalhatu as his one of his biggest customers. So let's say Alhaji Dalhatu invites you to attend the Lagos Chamber of Commerce or the Abuja Chamber of Commerce meeting. He thinks you're a correct guy, you're a correct girl, so he wants to hook you up. Come to Chamber of Commerce. So you come to Chamber of Commerce, you meet a couple of people there, you exchange cards, you get people's phone numbers and email addresses, and let's say you're the shy type, you don't know how to call people up and to go to their office or whatever. It's okay. From all the things we've discussed here, you can run these email ploys. You send a bunch of emails out to people after the networking session. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Blah blah blah. Usual introductions. Get a conversation going. From the call to actions that you put there, you're going to be able to figure out who is interested. Who is possibly interested. So a call to action in one of your emails could be, let me see. Okay, so Alhaji Dalhatu hooked you guys up, and okay, how will I craft this now? So a call to action could be that if you are looking at purchasing cement in the future for any of your large scale development projects in Abuja or in Lagos, click here to download this white paper, or click here to be put on a waiting list to be for salespeople to talk to you later. Or let's see, what else, what other thing can we come up with? Forgive me, I shouldn't be doing this on the fly. I should really think of this case studies before I hit the record button. But anyway, I'm sure you guys get the picture. So it'll be there in the email that if the person is also a property developer like Alhaji Dalhatu and they're thinking of looking for new suppliers, they can click here, sign here, download this, and then that gives you a signal to show that the person is interested. And then, of course, you're also going to use email to nurture the relationships. Maybe after your marketer goes to visit the person, a couple of more emails just to make sure that you're nurturing the relationship and that you're remaining top of mind. But ultimately, eventually, it gets to the point where you have to use the email to ask for the sale. I guess this is not the most elegant example that I've ever given over here on the podcast, but the point I'm just trying to make is that even if you sell cement, and even if you run into people at a networking session, you can still use email to achieve all these goals. So, thank you very much for listening to episode 566. I think we have said enough with email marketing. So, I think on the next episode, we're going to go to SEO, and the thought process, the structure is going to be basically the same. We're going to see how we can use SEO to find potential customers, to nurture relationships, and then to ask for the sale. And just to give you a heads up, SEO is search engine optimization. Just in case you're an absolute newbie who's listening to the podcast for the first time, or who's just listening to business material for the first time. So, thank you very much for listening to episode 566. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.